Stockholm to give us a little peek into his crystal ball. Give it up for the man Twitter knows as at Martin Deinoff. He's here today in the flesh. And you told me I could speak Swedish and say Deinoff. Is that right? Yeah, Deinoff. Okay, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Martin Deinoff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very nice to be here. And as hard it is to pronounce my name, I give you my contact details here. You can read it by yourself. Very nice to be here. I'm going to talk about the business models of the future, if you like that. I come from Kruna, and we are the full-service Nordic digital agency and have offices around the Nordics, but that's all I'm going to say about us. More about the topic at hand, future of business models. Every guy that comes from this industry has, of course, begin with talking about how fast everything is moving right now. The exponential speed of things, the turbulence, the exponential curves everywhere. We hear every day that things are going faster and faster. It will never go this slow again. It will never be this slow again. And that's good. I mean, we have more information, more entertainment, more gadgets, more gizmos. We have self-driving cars. We have these kind of nice flying things. We have physical chips implanted in our bodies, etc. But this morning when you arrived here, how many robots did you really meet on the street? And apart from this, which was cool to see, how many of these are we actually using in our everyday life? Of all the products and services and gadgets and gizmos and opportunities we have today in our daily life, how much is really profoundly different from what it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago? And how many things are quite the same for you and your company? I believe that this might be changing right now, when our internet of information and communication also becomes an internet of machines, of things, and an internet of context and meaning for all services and products out there. And that's what I'm going to talk about mostly today. When I look at this from a more historical perspective, I'm struck by the fact that some of the services that we have really change not only business, but our behavior as its core. And that, I think, is going faster and faster. Not many things, but a few things really change how we behave. I mean, Uber, we heard about. Dropbox we have a great service called Linas Mat, Kassa in Sweden, which delivers ready-to-cook meals to your door, changing profoundly the way that people are using dinners in their families' lives, and of course also businesses. It's very difficult to know where this development is heading. Is it going to be small, gradual steps towards something new, or big shakeouts? Is it going to be the classical large corporations or someone new? Is it going to be stable business models that work for a long time, or are we heading into a continuous chaos? I don't know. And if some of you here have this answer, please tell me. What I do know is it's going to be probably really exciting. I can't wait for this to happen. One thing that we must ask ourselves, especially managers, is what is your business? What is really your business? Which business are you in? What are you actually doing? And how is the value that your company is producing actually being produced? And how is that value being consumed? The internet has a tremendous opportunity and a way of changing many things that we thought we knew about. So maybe the answer to these questions are not what we think it is. This doesn't mean that we have to turn everything upside down, but I think that we need to look at ourselves with as new and open eyes as possible. And that is what I'm going to talk about today. Our clients at Kruna, they work with a lot of things in parallel. I mean, everything from digital marketing to product development and process effectiveness, optimization of different kinds. But we also try to raise our gaze a bit sometimes and look at, well, are we in the risk of being challenged by a competitor, or can we challenge the competition by doing something else? And I have developed this model, very easy model, to have something to think about when we are doing that. It's the 3 steps that I'm going to go through with you today that I believe can change the fundamental ways in which business models are developed the coming years. And I think that this is nothing new. It's absolutely nothing new. But I think it maybe is underutilized by companies and overshadowed by wearables or branded content or drones or something else from the latest trend report. I think that is a pity. I think that if we look at these areas, we can really change stuff and get faster to these new and exciting opportunities we have in front of us. So I'm going to spend some time discussing these things. And we're going to start by owning less. Digitalization and servicification, I don't know if that word actually exists, is something we've been talking about for maybe 20 years. I mean, if you have the opportunity to provide the same value, the same service by digital means, virtual means, or physical, there's many good things about choosing the digital alternative. I mean, if you look at the world and you're offering a software, it's easier to tackle some challenges. You can upgrade, you can spread easier over vast geographical distances, you can collaborate, network, use different effects of the digital economy, of course. And also, maybe this is one of the great answers to the very big challenge of our generation, of course, the environmental challenge. Product or service or a way to solve a goal that's done by virtual means have almost no environmental impact. That is important. The second thing is that today it's not as cool to own physical stuff. I mean, it's not necessary to owe the things to have a high status if you can solve the same things with other means. I think that is important. To do this, we had to look and put the need in focus. Look at what we actually need to do, not only how we come to that need. We need to we need to stop to always think about, can we make a better power drill? And question, do we actually even need a hole? How can we change the way that we look upon ourselves and our offering and look more to the needs and less to the actual tools that we use? It's not especially difficult to think about this. And why am I talking about this on this type of conference? Well, because I think that it's still much to do. We can solve things, as I said, by physical and virtual ways. And, well, the physical will not disappear, but we should every day think, can we in any way reduce the need of physical stuff to receive our goal? And this is happening already. I mean, the media industry, it's been there for a long time. In the electronics business, we see this happening a lot. I mean, we have mixers for music, we have plotters for cars and boats, we have radios and many other things moving into our computers as software to a fraction of the cost and many times the value. This will continue. We will see this in many other ways. I mean, there's a lot of areas left. Once this is done, we also need to think about, can we offer this as a service instead of as a do-it-yourself solution, even if it's a physical or a virtual product or service? I mean, many things that previously was not able to offer as a service, I mean, for example, driving taxis instead of owning a car, can now, by the fact that more and more information constitute the products we have, the services might be the obvious choice. And for companies that is able to follow the route of more services and more digital, I think they will have a good solution in the future. A good way to develop the business models of the future, because this will work with society. And those stuck with do-it-yourself and physical products, they will have to, work against many of the developments that we see today. One obvious area is transportation. I mean, I have a car, I have a new car, and I have all thinkable services, and I put my tires in a tire hotel when I'm not using them in the winter, etc. So I have many great services. but still it doesn't feel especially cool or smart. I mean, my car stands on my driveway most of the time, and my neighbor, his old car barely starts. And of course I would like to use my SUV sometimes, but sometimes it would be cool to have a sports car, a motorcycle, or why not drive down here to Aarhus and fly home. I think that we will see much more of carpooling, like Car2Go and Sunfleet. We will see more rental cars combined with pure play, delivery services. And when the self-driving cars comes along, we always hear about the self-driving cars, right? Everybody says, oh, it's going to be great with the self-driving cars. It's going to be so great because we don't need to park anymore. They can park. You can leave the car and it's going to park. Yeah, because park is such a big hassle, right? I mean, why the hell should a self-driving car park at all? Well, they should drive around and get kids to school and elderly to whatever they do and meet to someplace, drive you home from the pub maybe. It shouldn't stand still for a minute. The Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, they made a research saying that we could replace all the cars in Stockholm by 9,000 self-driving cars. That's 100th of the cars that's actually used every day in Stockholm. Think about the environmental impact, and think about the impact on business models. This is what every company should think about. The next thing is to embrace more, to be talking about a larger scope of what we have in our needs. Not only delivering one thing, but a large portion of stuff. This, of course, can be done by having a product that solves more things, but I think it's more often will be that companies will put themselves as a layer of value that spans a large number of services and products and things and gives meaning to them. And this will most often be done by a digital service. It's important to understand that if you look at this from an economical perspective, it's actually quite often more profitable to have a large share wallet. That is, how much of the spending within a specific area you as a company have, than to have a large market share. Both is of course best, but share wallet is oddly forgotten. I think that this will be very much more important in the future. Also because if we have a high share wallet, if we have a larger the portion of the things that you think about in a given area, we can be much more close to you. And this closeness will often come through digital service. As I said, when more and more things become information and less atoms, we will have more importance lying in the services themselves. So put yourself in the middle. The cogs there, they are the physical stuff, and the computer is the virtual. Put yourself in the middle. Try to be this meaning to a specific area. Try to put all the deliveries from different suppliers you sell for others to all the needs of the consumers. I think the most important thing here is that if we can do this, we can handle the user experience. We can handle the total experience of the users, and I think that that experience will be key in the future. Not only the workings and the process of delivering the goods or the services that we have, but the experience around that. And also, all the data that they will send us might be our best resource. So how can this be used? I mean, the media industry is, of course, a given. Today, when I'm looking at media, I have a great situation today. I mean, we all have. We can find all the movies and songs and things that we like. But still, when I'm going to look at a movie, it's a hassle. I have Netflix and HBO and SVT Play back in Sweden and many others. And I browse through these, and maybe sometimes I don't find what I'm looking for. And if I do, it works in different ways for my different gizmos at home and in the different contexts I'm in. And it's not cheap because I have to pay for these over and over again. Why don't a player come in the middle and say, well, Martin, we'll fix this for you. We'll bid against these different players, and we hand you what you need. And you know what? We give you the perfect experience. They have to set up one time, and we give you new values, and we give you solutions to challenges that you didn't even know that you had. And they get all my money, my whole share wallet, and they can give me rebates. They can give me a great customer service? Does it have to stop here with media? What about food? I go to the grocery store, of course. I go to, as I said, I have this kind of matkasse delivered to my home, pre-made meals for me to cook. I buy groceries online, delivered to my home. I have, of course, takeout. I have a number of services concerning food. Why don't a player come in the middle and say, we'll fix this for you? We give you all what you need when it comes to food. We give you rebates. We get all your money, so you get a great rebate. We know everything about you, your allergies, your preferences, what you like, what you don't like, and why not do that, what we talked about for 15 years, place something in the fridge and give me access to what I have at home. They can do that, of course, because they are the only player, and I give them all my money. And they can give me new things, new solutions to challenges I didn't know I had. Does it have to stop here? What about clothing? Clothing. I know that clothing and buying clothes are much of an experience in itself. But actually, that could probably be solved. Have a physical place to meet, to feel and touch and try on. And combined with new cool services, like, Zappos, how they handle customer service. Why not Outfittery, that knows my preferences and can provide me with total outfits? Or Tailor Store, that knows my measurements and can give me tailor-made clothing. Why not take it further, one step further all? Put sensors on my clothes or my wardrobe and know what I'm using and not using. I think that probably 50% of my clothes at home I never use. Give me the opportunity to hand them over, give them back, maybe sell them, and get all my money to give me rebate again. Did you know that in general, at least in Sweden, the different clothes that we buy, we use on average 6 times per garment. 6 times. That's not much. It's what's far less than what I thought. It is a big potential here. I'm going to wrap this up by the last area, perfect choices. What could be a better business model than that to give us perfect choices? There actually exist. Of all the data we have today, all the information we have and systems and algorithms and very powerful computers, we could actually give perfect choices. We have a sound skepticism towards letting somebody else choose for us. I think that's good. Both companies and governments, we have a sound skepticism for them to choose. But on the other hand, all the time, the money that it takes to make the choice ourselves, without any guarantee that it gets right, would probably, we maybe could tip over to the favor of somebody else choosing for us. There's a great potential for another player to come in an area which I don't have all the power, the tools, the techniques, the knowledge, and give me better choices. To do this, you should work with supply. The disaggregated data, the aggregated data and the disassembled value chain, you should use with demand, the personal information and big data, use algorithms and knowledge to provide perfect choices. For example, how many of you guys know everything about your pension plan? You have it all laid out for you. It's a hassle. I don't even know the terminology. There's some guy here and some guy come to work, and afterwards I'm just more puzzled and everything changes. Why the hell am I supposed to handle these things? Company could go in there and say, well, Martin, we handle this for you. Not to mention exercise and training. Today we're blown away by all the advice about how we should train and what we should eat and what is good and what not. Here, a player could come in and say, we'll do this for you. It's winter, so you probably need to be most indoors. And now it's summer, you're out running in the woods, and a bit at home and a bit at work. And we sequence your DNA. It's done now for less than $100. And they can say, well, this is absolutely super good for you, and this is dangerous as hell. Don't do this. And they got all my money, as we talked about earlier, to give me a new experience that is probably mostly virtual. Owning less, embracing more, and providing perfect choices. I believe that these will be some of the cornerstones when it comes to handle the business models of the future. Of course, these are overarching things, but I think that they will be very important in creating the long-term winners of tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Martin, stay up here with me just for a second. We're a little bit ahead of schedule.